The old Sabbath is now done away with, and we have a daily rest, something we're supposed to observe daily, turning ourselves. There's a verse in Isaiah that says, turn away your foot from your way on the Sabbath and delight in the Sabbath and focus and turn away from doing your own pleasure. And that translates now, today, to turning away from my ideas, my plans, and instead turning to Jesus, who is now my Sabbath, and allowing him to give me the rest. Well, I say all this to say this. I was mentioned earlier about how human nature is, so when God tells me to break up this piece of land, that I go take a little shovel and cut out a little square of it and put it in a pot on my porch and try to keep the little things that I was growing on my fallow ground. Kind of like stringing up my little wire so I can still do what I wanted to do in the first place, but I still want my rest. God, I want you to still give me my peace. I want you to give me I still want you to rain your righteousness on me, but I want to do it my way. I want to fallow this ground. I want to break up this ground my way. I did break it up, Lord, but technically I also brought a piece of it over here, and now I'm trying to create what I had here, now I'm just moving it over here. That's not going to work. I found, because I'm going to be honest, I tried that with this. It's human nature to kind of think, okay, Lord, well, I see what you're doing here. So that's how my brain works this way. Oh, I see what you're doing here, Lord. So this is what I'm going to do. Well, that's not what he said. He said, I want you to do this. I have an engineering brain, and usually I have an idea of how things should go down. Usually I have maybe an idea of how it could be done better, and if I'm not careful, I apply that to some of the things the Lord has for me to do. And that's something that the Lord has to work with me on, and I'm sure we all have similar things. Maybe it's not that, but it may be another personality, I don't know if you want to call it a flaw or not, but it can be a fault for me, that I don't try to meddle too much with, okay, Lord, how about we cut this field in half and we only fallow half of it? We only break up half of it. How about we just take out this little section, or maybe we can, I kind of like the way tallow trees look in the fall, so maybe we'll dig up a couple of these tallow trees and leave them here, because they're probably our prettiest tree in the fall around here. I think that's the only good thing I have to say about them. They are beautiful in the fall. So if I only look at that, say, okay, Lord, I really like how these things look this time of the year, so I want to move one and I'm going to put it over here. What happens then? Use an example of a tallow tree. It starts spreading and goes all over the place, and before I know it, I've got it in my good fields now. I've got it showing up and popping up in places that I never, ever expected it to. We've been trying to teach the children, and I've finding it's true for me too. The attitudes that we have at home with our family, if we're not careful, for a while it'll stay just at home with your family. You're more free to say things to your family than you might to other people, but if we're not careful, the attitude, maybe we won't quite get so far where we share as freely as we do with our family, but if we treat family badly, or we had a bad attitude with our family, or we aren't merciful or kind, eventually that will spill over to people at work, it'll spill over to our friends, it'll spill over those things that can just so readily just come bubbling out of us because we're in a place we're comfortable. Oh, I know my family loves me and they'll forgive me. Well, if we're not careful, those things will, when you least expect it, will come boiling out and make you want to crawl underneath the table when they do. And I don't want the Lord have to teach me that way. I don't want to go through that. I want, when the Lord tells me, Jared, there's a piece of ground here that it's ready to be tilled up. It's time for this fallow ground to be broken up, because you're seeking me for righteousness, you're seeking me for understanding. This has to go for you to get any deeper. This has to go away. These things have to be put aside because they're taking up the space that we need for me to sow that seed. Y'all pray for me. I want to be a fruitful field, for the Lord. I want any ground that he wants to be used for him, I want him to have free reign on it. I want him to be able to pull his tractor in there anytime he wants and till it all up. And I want to be there to help him to do whatever needs to be done for my life to be fruitful. And I don't want to get in his way. Y'all pray for me that I'll be true.